Okay, people, so now we are going to start this. We are going to start today IELTS, various types of questions we are going to see. Okay, so in IELTS essay, that is task 2, which we have to write 250 words in. So there are various types of essays which are being asked. We are going to see how these questions are attempted. Okay, so tell me please, are you able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
okay, now changing the slide. Now see the essay format is there, which is there in front of you. So ISSA format says that, I mean, there are four parts to it. That is, you need to write four paragraphs. The first one is introduction. The second one is main body paragraph one. Third one is main body paragraph two, and fourth is conclusion. Now the first one needs to have these three constituents. Sometimes it can be two, but majorly it is three. So these three constituents, that is neutral background statement you need to write. Then you need to paraphrase the question, and then you need to write the thesis statement. Now, what are these things we are going to see in the coming slides? Now, before that, second part is main body paragraph one, wherein part one, in the para one, argument one you have to write. Now, argument one is generally the opposite side, but we are not going to discuss that. First of all, we need to understand the simple format of it. That is, argument one you need to write, and it should consist of this main idea, supported ideas, and extension of ideas. Now, why these are important, you need to understand. Because the task response, the parameter files, the task response, I mean, it's particularly it gives us, it tells us that you need to write this main body, main idea, supported ideas, and extension of ideas. Now, what it could be, like for example, there is a question like whether mothers are better than fathers at parenting. Okay, so you'll be writing that okay, mothers are better. You'll be writing about fathers here. So main idea would be fathers are okay. So you'll be writing that fathers features of fathers parenting. That would be the main idea. So in this paragraph, we would be writing features of father's parenting. That is the main idea. And the supported ideas means all those points which they have jotted down just to tell about the features of the father's parenting, like the father earned bread for the family, like father makes them help them in studies or whatever. So what are those points you are going to write in the supported ideas? Then extension of ideas means again there would be an example which would be extending your point of view. So actually extension of ideas means what? It is just an example. Okay. Now coming on to the main body paragraph two. So it is
Sir, I need to ask you one
yes,
question.
please.
Do we have, like, it's mandate to provide an example on that particular paragraph or not?
See, I would be saying that it would be better for you to do it because see, it is a requirement for the task response. So the task response says that you should explain your ideas in better way. For that, we need to write an example. So most of the time, people write examples here. That would be helpful. So I should say that yes, you should include an example. Okay. Now coming on to the third part that is the main body two, main body paragraph two. Again, here now you are going to write about the argument too, which generally in an opinion-based question you will be writing your side. So you will be writing about main idea that is features of the mother's parenting in this particular case, and then you will be supporting the ideas and by using your own points and extending the ideas. The extension of ideas means again there will be example. And in the last, like after the extension of ideas, you will be writing in the opinion-based questions only. You are going to write that okay, in my opinion, mothers are better than fathers because of one more reason you are going to quote. That would be the best one, right? So why we are going to do that? I'll tell you. First, in the thesis statement, you have to put, like which is there in the introduction itself. In the thesis statement, you are going to first of all tell people that okay, which side you are taking. So whether it's mother or father in an opinion-based question. Now, in the thesis statement, the same thing we are going to maintain here in the end of the main body paragraph 2. After you're writing, I mean all the things are over, then you are going to write the way I see it. Mothers are better than fathers because of so and so reason. Now then concluding statement will come. Now the fourth point will come, that is conclusion. In the conclusion, it depends on the type of question that what you're going to write. Mainly, you start with an uncommon vocabulary, that is to recapitulate. It fits almost well in every one. Okay. So now let's move on to the next part of it. So now these are the type of questions, as you can see, these are the types of questions which a person generally gets in IELTS. These are the essay questions. So the first one is problem solution. On the next you can see it is double question, then agree, disagree, discuss both views, then discuss both views, give your opinion, advantages, disadvantages, and give your opinion. Sorry, without opinion, and advantages, disadvantages with your opinion. Now, you need to understand one more type is there that we call it as positive negative development. So it is very easy to understand. Well, it is not a very important one. That's why it is not written here. And these days there has been a trend in which there are two types of questions are being asked in a different way. So this I'll be telling you later on because it becomes a little complex to understand those type of questions. There, but these are the most famous ones, I would say. 95-97% you'll be getting all these type of questions. Now let's see.
Sir, are we talking about the sixth and the seventh one? Advantages, disadvantages, and give your opinion on that.
No,
So,
something else I'll be telling you later. After this
okay,
class,
sir,
I'll be
fine.
telling you. Yes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's try the type one, that is problem solution question. IELTS essay type of questions. First type, problem solution. Now see, this is how a problem solution question would look like. So this is the prompt or this is the question. Please read the question.
Every year, more and more students choose to study online rather than attend class on campus.
Yes, so this is the question, that is the prompt. Okay, now what do you think are the causes of this and what solutions can you suggest? Okay, so the question says that every year students are like choosing to study online rather than attend the classes on campus. What are the causes of it and what are the solutions you can suggest? Now, here comes the response. The first line, neutral background statement. Studying online is becoming increasingly popular. It's a neutral background statement. And now, rephrasing it, like paraphrasing it, each year, more and more students opt to study online as opposed to attending classes on campus. Can you make out this is the paraphrasing? And further, there is a thesis statement. This essay will further discuss why this is happening and put forward several solutions for this. So now this is a problem solution question and the thesis actually defines what you're going to do. What is your standpoint, where you're standing and what you're doing. So here you don't have to take any standpoint, rather you have to just tell simply that, okay, we are going to discuss the problems and the solutions in this particular essay, moving ahead. So this is how you conclude the introduction. And now this is all about the introduction itself. Now let's move to the main body. What would be the main body type? So main body would be like this. So in the main body one, the problems will be discussed, and in the main body two, conclusions will be discussed. Solutions will be discussed, and further we'll be moving on to the conclusion to recapitulate. Okay, now in recapitulation, what you'll be doing is you'll be pointing out towards the that this essay has already discussed about the problems and the solutions of the essay, and which has been given here in this essay. So this can be sometimes generally you can rephrase the question also sometimes again. Okay, but that's an art. I will be telling you about that later. Not important right now. Right now, let's move on to the next part. That is how you can write a problem solution question. Okay, Ankur, please read it.
Uh, the next double question or what?
No, this one, problem solution.
Uh, yeah. In recent year, due to
Yes.
down of technological advancement, people are inclined toward education driven by the technology rather than attending college and universities.
Yes. So what is this? So in recent years, due to dawn of technological advancements, people are inclined towards education driven by technology rather than attending class, colleges, and universities. So it is what? It is something, it is like,
Neutral background statement.
it is paraphrasing.
Oh,
Okay.
fine.
Yes.
Sorry, sir.
So it is like thesis statement you have written that, okay, this essay will further discuss the reasons. Okay, why this is happening and put forward several solutions for the issue. Okay, so this is how you'll be doing this problem solution question. I mean, it is only three things which are important. That is neutral background statement, paraphrasing, and thesis statement. Now, it is important to see how you write thesis statement, and you should deliver it to the students, because if they write a wrong thesis statement, the entire paragraph, entire further paragraph will not be good at all. They would not be in sync with the introduction. So what you need to do is that you need to tell people that thesis statement is the most important one, wherein you are going to write that what you are going to do, and your all the three next paragraphs will be affected due to it. If you will be writing a little wrong, it will go all wrong. Now, type 2 double question. Double question. Now, see, every year more and more students choose to study online rather than attend classes on campus. Now, question number one, why do students prefer to study online? Now, red one, what can universities do to attract students to study on campus? Now, as you can see, there are two questions in it. That's why we call it as double question. Now, you could have said like that in problem solution also, there are two questions, right? But they are generally asking for problem and solution. Here, they are not asking for problem and solution, right? That's why it is a double question, not a problem solution question. Now, the next is, you can see how it has been written. Studying online is becoming increasingly popular. Each paraphrasing, each year more and more students opt to study online as opposed to attending classes on campus. Thesis. This essay, now it makes a difference. This essay will discuss why students prefer studying online. It is the answer to the first question. Green is matching with green. Please check why students prefer studying online, and red is matching with red. Provide options for how universities can bring them back to campus. So this is how you write a thesis in double question, involving both the answers for both the questions. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Shall I move ahead?
Sir, can you also show one more example of this double question?
Double question example. See, I don't have any
Yeah.
example right now. It is very easy to understand. You can check like online, and you can easily. I mean,
Okay.
you can check it and you can try it. If you will not be able to, do let me know. Okay, I'll be helping.
Okay. And sir, what are the chances of
What?
coming this double question? Like,
Excuse me.
what are the chances? What are the weightage of this question?
See, I would be saying equal weightage is there for everyone, every type of question. Okay,
Okay.
any
Okay.
of the questions can come. Okay,
Okay.
equal weightage with everyone, right? Okay, so see, double question is very easy to answer the moment you'll be understanding how to write the thesis, right? Thesis is very simple. The first area this essay will discuss. Now you'll be picking up the first question: why students prefer to study online, right? Or studying online, and provide options. See, and provide options how for how universities can bring them back to campus. Similarly, you can do on almost all the questions. Okay. Now, main body one, argument one, you'll be doing like the first question you'll be attempting here. Why do students prefer to study online? And in the main body two, argument two, you'll be writing like what can universities do to attract students to study on campus? Now, type three, agree, disagree, and there are two parts. A, agree, disagree. B, to what extent do you agree? Now, it's an interesting one. Now, in agree, disagree, you can see that studying online. Now, again, thing is written in here like this. So, the first thing we are going to talk about is the question says like studying online is far more effective than studying on campus. Do you agree or disagree? Now you can see same things are there. The effectiveness of studying online is debatable. Now you can write neutral background statements in various ways. Then comes paraphrasing. Some people believe that it is much more effective than traditional classes, classroom-based learning. Okay, you're just doing the paraphrasing. Now here comes the main thing, that is thesis. This essay will discuss why online study is far more effective than campus-based study. Now here you have taken a standpoint that this is better than that, X is better than Y, or Y is better than X. So here you are saying that online study is much more better than campus-based study. So you have taken a stand and you agree to this statement, right? Are you understanding, people? This? Any questions we have in this?
Not yet.
Okay, yes. So let's move on. So agree, disagree, main body. How we are going to write the main body. Now, argument one, features only of the opposite viewpoint. Now, it's very important to understand that this is an opinion-based question. So you are going to do what? You are going to attempt it in such a way so that you will be putting up the opposite viewpoint first and your viewpoint later. So opposite viewpoint, you'll be writing in 3, 4 lines like it is like studying in campus. That is in this case, it is there features only of the opposite viewpoint that is studying in campus. Now main body 2, as you can see, argument 2, features only of the viewpoint which I am supporting. Okay, so whatever viewpoint you are supporting, like in this case, it is studying online. With example, you are going to do that. Now, main body 3, my opinion. So, main body 3, it is written like that, but main body 3, it would not be there. Like it would be like my opinion plus example, which will be adjacent to main body 2. It is not main body, right? So, there is an edit here. My opinion plus example, like how online classes are better than campus-based classes. And I'll be moving out of the question. Now, if the question is like to what extent do you agree? Now, you can see to what extent do you agree? Everything remains the same. Now, thesis changes. I strongly agree to the aforesaid mentioned. Oh, sorry, it is not rightly written. It is aforementioned statement. Okay. I strongly agree to the aforementioned statement. Just a minute. Let me edit it. Aforesaid, right? Okay, I strongly agree to the aforesaid statement, and this essay will further discuss this is in an elaborated way. So you are going to say that, okay, I strongly agree. One side you have taken. Now, strongly agree when you're saying, so I'm skipping that. Somehow, you can say somehow agree. You can say do not agree. People say partially agree also, but I'm not going to do, I'm going to tell you a simple mantra for this. Now, what you need to do is you need to attempt this in the similar way, like we have done earlier. The best possible way to teach students, not to confuse them, is to tell them that in every IELTS essay there are two parts. You have to discuss one in one and main body and another in another main body. In the to what extent do you agree? It is better that you guide students that you should take one stand either like strongly agree or do not agree. Why? It will act similar to agree disagree. So you don't have to learn another concept. You don't have to learn or mug up another concept, another type of essay, which would be a little difficult for the student to understand. But you should know that how you need to write. So whenever you say I strongly agree, it's okay. So strongly agree. Now some of the you say no, I somehow agree. So argument one, 70% you are writing about it, 30% you are writing about the argument two. You can see. So features only of the opposite side, like you are somehow agreeing that is. Now you're saying that studying in campuses, we are elaborating it in a better way, and 30% you're saying that features only about the viewpoint which I am supporting. Now, if you're saying partially agree, which is not written here, but I'll be telling you, partially agree, what will happen is like 50% here, 50% there. We will be talking about both the statements. But somehow agree like this, and strongly agree like this, 30% above and 70% down. And if you say do not agree, then it's simple, just like agree disagree. It's a little difficult to understand. You will be going through it once, you will be writing it, then only you'll be making it out that what it is. I'll be sharing this PPT with you so as to make it more clearer to you. Now, moving on to IELTS type 4 question, it is discuss both views. It has been seen these days, discuss both views have been, this question, these type of questions are coming in exams these days. So we can say discuss both views. Every year, more and more students choose to study online rather than attend classes on campus. Discuss both views. Now, again, the same thing would be there. Neutral background statement will remain the same. Paraphrasing will remain the same. Thesis will change. So studying online is becoming increasingly popular. That is neutral background statement, and paraphrasing says that each year more and more students opt to study online as opposed to attending classes on campus. This essay will further discuss both views in an elaborated way. Okay, so what is this essay will be doing? It will be discussing both the views in an elaborated way. Now, type 5, discuss both views with opinion. It is important one. See the thesis directly. This essay will discuss both the views and will describe how studying online is better. So what you have done, you have actually made it an agree disagree type of question. It is an opinion based question. You have discussed about both the views and it will be describing about how studying online is better. That means you are taken a side that online is better. Now, type 6, it is advantages, disadvantages. Very simple to write. In one paragraph, you'll be writing advantages. In another one, main body 2, you'll be writing disadvantages. But how would be the thesis statement would look like? You can see this essay will discuss. Now, the question says like, studying online is getting popular these days. What are the advantages? This would be a plain question. You'll be writing a neutral background statement, paraphrasing and thesis. This essay will discuss how advantages of studying online outweigh the disadvantages. No, sorry, this would not be like this. This would be simply written. This essay will just discuss about the. You can write very plain one. Okay, so this essay will further discuss more about the advantages, disadvantages of studying online. Now, type 7, advantages, disadvantages. Now, here the things will change. Again, it's an opinion-based question. So you'll be writing it like that. The way I see it, advantages of studying online outweighs the disadvantages, and this essay will discuss the same in the greater detail. So outweighs the disadvantages. That means you are saying that yes, advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Let's talk about this. Okay, so let's attempt a question. So, do you agree or disagree? In some countries, many more people are choosing to study or to live alone nowadays than in the past. Do you agree or disagree? Now, see, in some countries, many more people are choosing to live alone. Okay. So, do you agree or disagree? Neutral background statement. These days, there is an ongoing debate among people about whether living alone or living in a group is better. Paraphrasing, as compared to the past, these days, most of the individuals prefer a state of solitude rather than getting along in the group. He says, the way I see it, living alone, living in a group, living in a group is far more better than living alone. So you are saying that, okay, living alone is better. Living in a group is better. Now, main body one, features, you are going to write what? You are going to write one view, that is features of living alone. First you'll be writing. So it is the opposite side. So these are the points. These are the pointers which you would have jotted down after doing some brainstorming. It is like self-reliance, independence, better decision making will be there. It will be living alone. No family responsibility. Like you can spend more on yourself, time and money both. More efficiency, lesser disturbances, getting into bad activities also. I mean, this is a feature. That's why you can write a negative one as well. Right? What are the features of living in a group? Now, living in a group like spending so less living cost, better support system, relationship building, social responsibilities, human being a social animal, and then family responsibilities will be there. Okay, and less efficiency will be there, more disturbances, old age, taking care would be difficult, and then it would be a little rather more expensive, more exposure, more experiences of life in less time. So your opinion, now you're going to write your opinion as well. That is living in a group is better than being alone, more financial security and better support system, pool of resources, aim for resources, overall development, and makes you a social animal. So this is a nutshell. So conclusion to recapitulate, you're going to write it like that. So this is how it is like these seven type of questions will be attempted. So I hope that this would be like rather you will be understanding it once by writing all those type of questions one by one. Okay. Is any of the questions you have, people, you can ask me. Any of the questions you have, guys? Okay, I hope that.
So not at the moment.
Okay, so I hope that this is clear to everyone. Now, apart from this, there are various mixed type of questions these days which are going on. So I'll be telling you in detail about that in the next session, not in this one. So these type of questions are generally they are mixing the questions. Okay, they are generally mixing the questions. There are two type of questions which are mixed together. Okay, so I'll be showing that to you in the next session. Okay. Uh, so now